Cheers, welcome to my channel. This is a timely tarot oracle reading about random shift. If you resonate with the title and or the thumbnail, this reading is the perfect reading for you, delivered at the perfect time, courtesy of the universe through the language of synchronicity. If it has been some time since I have posted this, what was going on in your life back then, that could give you further clarity as to your situation now. I'm just moving my spread around a little bit so that I can show off my flowers from Mother's Day. I thought you might enjoy them as well. They're so pretty. I love yellow roses. They're so beautiful. All right, so we do have the King of Pentacles as the underlying energy from the bottom of the deck. So this is the underlying energy for the reading. And Pentacles in tarot represent health, wealth, and happiness. It's representing an energy of coin, of course. So money is a big part of health, wealth, and happiness in the third dimensional world. But if you don't have health and you don't have love, and you have lots of money, you still probably are not living the lifestyle that you want to live. So this is talking about lifestyle. And the King of Pentacles is representing someone who enjoys a good lifestyle. They are very good at business. So this is someone with highly regarded for their business acumen. They tend to be in professions involving banking, that type of energy. If they are a banker, they would be someone that's at least a manager or higher. This energy can also represent an energy of, let's see, we could have an entrepreneur that's doing very well. We could have accountants, financial advisors, wealth advisors, life insurance, that type of energy, retirement planning, that sort of energy. But if they are involved in that, it would be someone that's highly established, in a firm, like probably a partner in a firm that's well known. And we also have the energy of real estate, because the pentacle actually represents the element of earth, and earthly matters. So this is talking about maybe real estate. If it's real estate, it would be, land developers, contractors, that type of energy, people, home builders, that type of energy. Maybe if it's a real estate agent, it would be someone that is in a well-established company and probably has been there a while and is dealing with clients that are maybe more, in the millions of dollar properties. And also this would represent someone who is in land, commercial land, commercial projects, that type of energy as well. Investors. And what else could this be? Well, you get the picture. It's that type of energy. The King of Pentacles it could be a chief financial advisor for a large corporation as well. But the energy is talking about someone who is admired, and in particular because the grapes in tarot represent luxury items. And grapes are considered to be a luxury, and they're difficult to grow. So if you can grow grapes and make money off them, then you're highly regarded. And would you like to come up? People may look up to you and ask for advice in business ventures, etc. This can also represent someone that that backs, what do you call that? Not a capital, capital gains, that type of energy. And we have the King of Swords. So the King of Swords is also a professional in an industry where it's not so physical. This is talking about someone, the swords represent the element of air, and they represent your mental intelligence, your thoughts, your discipline of your mind. And this energy would represent people who are in professions where they use their words, whether that be written or verbal, to earn their living. This could quite often represent politician energy, so we could have politicians here. This is a king, so this is talking about someone that's high up. So it could be a president, a prime minister, it could be someone in the Senate, the Congress, somebody who has clout, who has pull. It could talk about mayors, Sometimes this could represent the chief of police, that type of energy, because there's quite often some legalities here as well. So the legal system, this would represent, if this is lawyers, this would represent a lawyer who's a partner in a well-established firm, someone who's higher up that specializes in certain fields. This could also represent a surgeon, a veterinarian, dentist energy, possibly a best-selling author, social media influencers. So you get the picture, that type of energy. And maybe a New York Times, did I say a New York Times best-selling author? Oh, this could be someone who's into research and also, has maybe found the cure for some disease and has the Nobel Peace Prize. Perhaps we could have like someone who's an inventor and they have a lot of patents, that energy. So this is two different kings coming in here with their different energies. And we do have a queen and a king. So we'll look into that. This could easily be a couple. And then we have a reward coming in. This is a reward from the Most High and also from the universe collaborating together to bring this reward of this giant pentacle for you. And this is for staying on your destined path. This energy is talking about being in an energy where this is the path of glory, and when you stay on that path, you're being rewarded for that with a better lifestyle. So something really awesome is coming in to your life in the near future. And then we have this energy of someone who has a closed mind at this time. So this energy doesn't really, it could be this King of Swords energy, but I almost feel like this is this energy. And so I feel like this is saying, I could be the same, we'll keep going and we'll see. But this is someone who has a closed mind at this time. They can only see two ways of solving a problem or getting what they want. And this is talking about, there's only two solutions. And it's either this or that, my way or the highway. Quite often that's the energy. We have someone who also, if you notice their body language, in body language, if you sit with your feet out like this, it's draining from your lower body. And in this in particular, survival and your base chakra, that type of, the survival energy. And so this is having something to do with material, this definitely this pentacle energy, and the thoughts around it, basically. So this is talking, see, and the King of Swords knows that he's very good with words, and so he knows that, words have the power to uplift people, or they can actually be used as weapons. And also that if you give your word and then you don't follow it up with action, then your word becomes useless, basically. So there's something around that kind of energy here. We got a lot of like that and the pentacles. So it's about pentacles, something, some decision, some sort of energy around that. This is talking about this person's being drained because they're trying to figure out, it's like in their head, they're seeing there's only two ways, this or that, and neither one is one choice that they want to make, so they feel stuck. You can see they're protecting their heart, the arms crossed over the heart, saying that they feel like their heart is vulnerable or they're vulnerable right now. And also the right arm is holding the left arm back, and your right arm would represent your logic and your left arm would represent your intuition. These swords are double-edged swords. One edge represents logic and the other represents your intuition. And, with the new moon in the background here, that's also representing that you're highly intuitive at new moon energy. So if there's a new moon coming in, it's a great time to start new projects. If that's what you're mulling over, it could be like maybe two kings wanting to get together and work on a project together, that type of energy. This protection, this is saying that there's never only two ways to do things. And it's coming up like it has to be between these two kind of energy. So something happening between this king and this king. And this card basically saying you need to be able to use your intuition as well as your logic to have a creative solution. And there's never, ever only two ways to do anything. There's probably many creative solutions that you could come up with if you do so. Sometimes this energy can represent that someone just doesn't want to be bothered right now. You know, turn the phone ringer off. I don't want to be bothered by anyone. I don't want to hear from the king. I don't want to hear from the queen. I don't want to hear from the king of swords. I just want to go inward and just use my third eye to come to a conclusion. So, you know, there's a saying, because you have eyes, you cannot see. And that's kind of talking about you know, with our human eye, we can only see a small spectrum of the light. And even like my cat, for instance, sometimes I'll be doing readings here and she'll be running around chasing after God knows what because I can't see it, but she can. And so it's that type of energy. And the human eye can only detect so much. And so even when like people say, oh, I'll believe it when I see it, you're actually might not be seeing the whole picture, and that's what this is saying. So that this is saying you need to use your intuition in this situation, because there's something that you're not seeing that you can't maybe see with the human eye. It's something that your intuition is like yelling at you. You need to look at this. That's the impression I'm getting. And then we have the Queen of Pentacles coming in. Now, these two seem to be a couple. This reading is more about the King of Pentacles energy because it's the underlying energy for the whole reading. But I do feel like this is probably a couple. And so this couple, the Queen of Pentacles, is known for being very reliable, like someone that you can count on, stable, especially in matters of money and, you know, the home, paying bills, making sure things are done the proper way, you know, being able to run a household. And she's known to be very resourceful, so she doesn't waste money, and also she prefers quality over quantity. So she's not, this is old, we're talking about old money here. She's been raised in a way where she's used to having money, and you know, she's not flashing it around. A lot of times people with new money, they have to have all the new designer everything and let everybody know that they're rich now, that type of energy. Whereas she, you know, you probably wouldn't be able to tell how lucrative she really is. And so this is talking about being able to not just have the ability to have that money, but also being able to have generational wealth that can be passed down to the next generation, a legacy more or less. And also this energy is talking about an attitude about money that you know, she doesn't have to impress anyone. She has no need to. Like, she already knows who she is, that type of energy. And then we have the Ten of Wands. Now this is kind of interesting. So the Ten of Wands is representing, you know, the wands represent the element of fire, and they're made of wood because wood feeds fire, but they're also like seeds that you've planted and they grow into these like almost like little trees. And this is talking sometimes about the fruits of your labor. You know, it's time to harvest, the Ten of Wands. But you can see this is a very heavy burden for him. And so this energy can represent that maybe you planted some seeds through your actions that didn't turn out the way to be as lucrative as you expected them to. But with this card here, I feel it's more like this person is weighed down by other people's burdens. And this card is saying, don't quit now. Like, he is so focused on getting home, and he's exhausted, and he's having a hard time. Like, he just wants to quit. It's that feeling, I'm never going to make it. I'm never going to make it. And but look at his house is right here. He just can't see it because his head is in like right up close here. So if you've ever heard that saying, you can't see the forest because of the trees, it's talking about when you're so focused on the details that you can't see the big picture anymore. And so he can't see that he's almost there. And this is true of a lot of people. When you are you know, working on something, a lot of people quit just before they're about to become successful. So this card is saying don't quit. And it's also saying if you're carrying burdens from other people, you need to put them down. It's too heavy a burden for you. And, you know, so some of these are heavy with the fruit of your labor, and that's for you to harvest to benefit you. But the burdens you're carrying are taking away from that. And it's like, if you're this exhausted, what kind of lifestyle are you going to have? You know, it's that type of energy. And this is also talking, you know, the wands represent, they're from a tree, so they represent the deep roots of the ancestors, as well as the offshoots, the descendants. And so this could be carrying the burdens of possibly some descendants and or your ancestors. Perhaps they've crossed the veil and they weren't able to clean some energy up. So we'll just keep going here, but there's definitely something burdensome between these two. And they might be in an argument, like, no, my way, no, my way. It's that type of energy. But the advice is keep going, don't quit now. And, you know, if you are carrying other people's burdens, put them down in the field right now. Phone them up if you want to when you get home. Tell them, you know what, I put your burdens down in the field. You need to come pick them up. And don't expect them to rush over, and don't expect them to be like, oh, yay, you put my burdens down for me. Because that mostly people, when they let you carry their burdens, tend to enjoy it better that way. They like it when you do that for them. And so this is talking about a real heartbreaking decision needs to be made. There's been a heartbreaking, something has happened and it's been heartbreaking. Now there could be some sort of problem between this couple, I feel. And it could be external forces coming towards them. Like it's not so much, they might be arguing with each other, but it's because of something that's from outside of what they did. You know, some actions that other people have taken, perhaps family, children, their children, something like that. These could be, you know, older people that have, you know, adult children, that type of energy. And they're carrying the burden for their children or for their, or sometimes this could be, you're in that midlife energy where you have children that are really busy going to events and all of that kind of energy, you know, after school events and going to school, and you work, and your parents are getting older and they need your help. So you're caught in between the burdens of, you know, of looking after children, looking after adults, your parents who are getting older and have more, you know, maybe there's one of them is sick or something like that. So it could be that, and it could be heartbreaking. So there's some sort of decision that needs to be made here. And then we have about marriage. Okay, so now we're talking more like, this looks like it could be a situation where this sometimes represents a third-party energy that is separating you know, a couple, basically. This can talk about a lot of gossip, a lot of slander, you know, that reputation, you know, gossip that's ruining reputations. This could be someone not being able to speak their truth, harsh words being spoken. Sometimes this can represent perjury in court. This is talking about, it's reconfirming that these two people are married. And maybe the third party energy is this energy, the sword going right between them is the King of Swords energy, possibly. Interesting. So because this is talking about fulfillment and the beginning of it. So this is saying you have the down payment for the castle, but you still have to make the mortgage payments. You have, you know, maybe asked someone to marry you, or they've asked you to marry them, and you've said yes, but now you have to work on the relationship. And this is talking about, it's supposed to be fulfillment. So let's keep going forward here and see what's going on here. So there's all these opportunities coming now. So this card is a kind of a different card, because there's all these opportunities, but some of them would be good to take and some might not be so helpful to take. And that's the energy I'm picking up here. Sometimes like each of these is a gift, and it is a possibility disguised as a challenge. But some of these, you know, could be like creating challenges, I feel, in this situation. Perhaps there's been some sort of choice that one of these two made, and it's created a heavy burden on their relationship, and they're dealing with legalities now. And because they're married, they're both having to deal with the choices that someone made. And this is sometimes considered spoiled for choice. And it's causing like, you know, it's like you're a black hole and you're sucking in all this opportunity. But like a black hole, you have to put your own spin on it. And I feel someone put a spin on some of these opportunities that were maybe like, you know, there's a snake here. If you weren't aware, there could be some shifty energy involved here, and it's caused a burden for their marriage, I feel. It doesn't necessarily have to be a third party as so much as an affair. It could be both, but it could just be a decision that one of the two of them made has created a huge burden for them and the family and for everyone. That's the energy. But it's interesting because we have this reward coming in for staying on your path. So I feel like because this energy is over here, I feel like the Queen of Pentacles has stayed on her path and the King of Pentacles has done something that requires a lawyer, and it has really affected their ability to, like, the reward. Now she is getting rewarded for staying on her path, and these would be possibilities that would be meant for her, but he was doing something behind the scenes that was illegal or something. There's something going on. And then we have the King of Wands energy here. Now we have three kings. And I do feel that definitely this was a couple that is maybe separating, and this might be the divorce lawyer energy. And it could be, because this is sitting on a third party, perhaps the king did step out, because this energy is rewarding her. And the divine doesn't normally reward you for cheating on your spouse kind of energy. But now I'm almost wondering, like, it could be because the King of Wands is considered the sexiest of all the kings, and he's has a tendency to, you know, he's a visionary, and he's very charismatic and really good with his words, etc. And he has a tendency to, like, enjoy new adventures, and that sometimes does bleed into his love life. And so you can see behind him he has these salamanders, and this is representing protection from fire, because the wand represents fire and his passion. But I've noticed on the back of his throne, this almost looks like a face with two eyes, smoke coming out of the nose and mouth. So it can sometimes just mean, oh, he's smoking hot and he has a lot of choices and can be spoiled for that. Like he might step out quite a bit. And this also can talk about that where there's smoke, there's fire. And so if you're suspicious of something, like these three kings have been coming up in readings, and whenever they come up, it's always heartbreak. So these three might have done something together, and then on top of it, one of them might have been, you know, like I feel the King of Pentacles may have cheated on his wife and also put them in a very compromising position. That's the best way I can put it. And yeah, and now this energy, I feel like this is something that the Queen of, she's had to be so resourceful. Why? Because this King of Pentacles is breadcrumbing her. There's something being hidden from the Queen of Pentacles. That's the energy. And it could be in collaboration with the King of Wands and the King of Swords and the King of Pentacles working together to breadcrumb the Queen of Pentacles energy. Interesting. It's come up in a couple of other readings I've done, and I just, that's the intuition I'm feeling the strongest. I feel that that's the, you know, because this is talking about sowing seeds, which I was talking about here, and I was getting, you know, that there was 4 that were burdens here, and only 6 that were, and now this card's come up. I didn't say it because it didn't seem relevant, but then there was the 4 here, and it's almost like these 4 wands for marriage is kind of, it usually doesn't mean that, but I think it does in this thing. I think there's 4 major burdens that came up from here, from her marrying this King of Pentacles. So there's at least 4 people involved, and I would say 1, 2, 3, and there could be someone else that we don't see here. So this is being breadcrumbed, and that's why she has to be so resourceful. I keep asking, why does the queen have to be so resourceful when she has all this money? Or should, you know? And I feel like when this truth comes out, that she will be resourceful. So there's something, you know, this person is investing. I feel like the King of Pentacles made a bad investment. Even though he's supposed to be good with money, I feel like he was hiding money, like, you know, from her and investing in other things that she didn't know about. And I feel like this energy could have been very much illegal. Interesting. So anyway, this is talking about the seeds being sown, and I do feel there's 4 burdens that you need to put down. If this is your reading, you'll know what those burdens are. We have him giving, investing in this energy and just breadcrumbing. And I feel that represents this. And then not giving anything at all to this energy because they already have something in their pocket and they're a grifter. And I'm wondering, that's how it normally comes up. But maybe this is saying, this is the person he's been giving the money to, and it's been the justice system is looking into some sort of energy here, because this is representing legalities. I don't know, there's something around that for some people, and for some people it could be a relationship with third-party involvement, whatever. But I do feel like that the Queen of Pentacles is the one that is being resourceful. These 3 men, I do feel, are working together. They've come up in my other readings lately. The universe keeps trying to tell me something, and I'm, we'll see. I don't know. These could be really public figures or something. You know, there could be something going on the world scale. And it's trickling down, you know, if you, whatever's going on at the top of the pyramid is going to affect people in the bottom. So we have the King of Swords energy, some legalities regarding a marriage, too many opportunities to count, breadcrumbing, possibly a third-party energy, like this energy cheating or something on his wife, because it's coming up here, and the heartbreak from that. But there's also a heartbreaking decision that has to be made, and it's between these 2 for sure, I feel. But she's going to be rewarded with this pentacle. She needs to put these burdens down, and maybe she knows something and she's like, oh man, she has to make a decision. She just found something out and she has to make a decision about it. Heartbreaking decision. All right, so let's go. Let's clarify this. We have transition coming in. I knew that card was going to come up. It always does in my oracle. So my oracle is from the Intergalactic Federation of Light, and it's talking about that energy. Also, I do have a website, Tales from the Vector, and talesfromthevector.com. And in that, on that website is a gallery with the paintings that I did. I started it in 2007, and in 2020 I finished all 64 paintings. So in the description box below, I'll put them in the order they come up here. So if you want more clarification, you might get it from that. So there's definitely a transition happening with the king, and there's some sort of degradation, and I do feel this has to do with this breadcrumbing energy here. Like there's something that would be degrading in a marriage, that type of energy. So this is saying like the shame doesn't really belong to you, but you're feeling ashamed, or you're like can't believe it. Maybe you're having trouble, like, you know how I said, you just can't believe it. This is something that when you hear it, you're going to be like, I can't believe it. They wouldn't do that. And this is being attached. And this is talking, I feel like, about what the decision someone felt. This is a karmic space, that what's yours is mine and what's mine is mine. So it's talking about not wanting to share the whole wealth with I feel with the queen, but feeling like what's hers is also his, that type of, some sort of energy like that. The star innocence, it's talking about, this is definitely saying, it's confirming that this is the energy, the star represents someone who's innocent. They've been following their North Star energy, And that's why they're being rewarded. This information is going to come out about these missing pentacles, and I feel like it's a very big pentacle, and there's an Empress energy involved. I feel like one of these kings might be a woman who has a lot of power in government or something like that, highly placed somewhere where there was some sort of facilitation of this energy. You know, you have to remember that all of the characters in tarot are actually they're considered to be gender, like they're not gender specific. They're masculine or feminine energies. So the king could be a woman in the masculine energy, and the queen could be a male in the feminine energy. But I feel like in this couple, this male energy was like the Empress energy, which is really weird, why it's coming up like that. But I feel like maybe their roles were reversed in some way. There's justice coming in about this heartbreaking decision, this marriage, and this pentacle, this giant pentacle coming in. And there definitely was deception, and it's saying kiss me good. There was a hex in the city. I feel like there was a third party involvement, and I feel that was with this King of Wands energy. Wow. Now this couple could have been divorced, and this King of Wands could have come in and been with this energy, and but was working with these. Like I clearly get that these three kings are working together, and one of them is in Empress energy, or there's a fourth person, and the fourth burden might be an Empress out there that had pull. And so they were all working together, and there's a lot of pentacles missing here. And I feel you're going to find out about it. Okay, this is a bit longer than my usual random shift reading, but this is random. It's a lot of information was coming in fast. I do hope you've enjoyed it. Give it a like and comment if you have, please. It helps me to build my channel. And also consider subscribing. I would be honored. I'll be back with another random reading for you soon. Bye for now.